Hello and welcome back to Dragonborn Industries. We are doing another unboxing tonight with Resident Evil, the board game. My box has taken a little bit of damage just here, but I think that's the delivery drivers, which is fine. It doesn't seem too bad. There's like a little bit on the inside, but we'll get to that and we'll have a look. It doesn't seem like anything was too bad. However, let me know if the music is too loud. Let me know if you can't hear me, you can't see something, because this is Resident Evil 1, the board game, the full alpha pledge, and a few extras inside there. Little warning to you all, and it has been pinned. This is a spoiler. Apparently there's something in here that Steamforged Games were like, don't ruin it for anybody. So if you are waiting for your pledge, and you don't want to see everything inside here until they officially announce anything, time to turn away. Time to just get out of here. Leave a follow and go. Or a sub, because we accept subs now. But anyway, we are back, and I have been dying to crack into this box. So I guess there's nothing really to do but do it. Hey, Dragon Skull, how you doing? How you doing? I hope that the music is all right and that everybody can hear me over it. I'm just going to move the mic to up there because this is a pretty hefty box. I'm super excited because I'm never at the start of a Kickstarter fulfillment. So yeah, Steamforged Games, Resident Evil, the board game, Alpha Pledge, Golden Tyrant, and the Fallen 5. So this was everything that we could get hold of for the Kickstarter. And I'm pretty excited. I actually held off doing the other two Kickstarters because Resident Evil 1 was like my jam. It was like my real favourite game. And I don't know why I held off with the other ones, probably just because I had a lack of money at the time. But when I knew that one day they would do Resident Evil 1, and the minis, the miniature painting opportunities to do Resident Evil. I'm a huge Chicken Heart fan, Brad and Rebecca Chambers. Here we go. So, do shout out if there's anything in particular you want to see as we go through. Obviously, this is quite a big box, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out individually, and then I guess we'll start going through every box one by one, and we'll try and show you everything that you can get for this particular game. So, let's get this one out of the way of the mic. So yeah, spoiler alert, we are going in now. If you're watching on YouTube, now is the time to turn away. If you're here on Twitch and you've come in after I've said all this, read the pinned comment above. Are we ready? I'm so excited. Let's go. Okay. So I think this must be the announcement. This must be the surprise. They're doing Resident Evil 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4 coming. Okay, there's a lot of reading on there, but that looks like... Let me skim read. Oh, it's a thank you to everybody who pledged. That's really lovely. From Sharon Matthews at Steamforged Games. So, let's crack on. I don't know where to start. Ooh, okay. Let's go with... This is nice and noisy, so let's open this first, shall we? Right. So what these are like gaming mats for your characters. Because obviously, with most board games these days, your characters have cards. And you would put your character card up here, so like Chris, Jill, Barry, whoever it is that you're playing, and then you've got your vitality, which is obviously your life in this one, weapons down here, wounds up here, and then obviously any upgrades and or equipment that you are carrying in these slots right here. And I imagine that they are all going to be the same. Yes, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then neoprene as well, which is fucking cool. That's very awesome. So that's the first item. Game mats for the players. So obviously this is a dungeon crawling game, so you sort of build the map as you go on this one, and it's set in 1-inch grid, and then you go exploring the Spencer Mansion. Okay. So we've got some Kickstarter editions. We've got... Let's start over here, because I can see this. This is the Gold Tyrant, which is one of the editions that they did for the Kickstarter, which is very, very cool. Comes with its own special card. I remember, like, fighting this in the original game and just being, like, scared to death of that heart that's just like in that laboratory. Right at the end, you just got to keep going around and around. And if you haven't played Resident Evil 1, you're missing out. It's one of the best games out there. Oh, which way round do I go? Which way round? Okay, let's go with... We're going to go here. So, we have the Fallen 5. So, this is, during the Kickstarter, they had a, I think it was a socials goal to basically, as characters were introduced and then there was like a vote on them, they did like, every time a character was like voted off, they did a dead body of them. So you can have like a dead body miniature. And we'll open that up in a minute. We're going to get everything out of this big box. And then we'll open up the little boxes. What have we got in the next one? Let's get rid of some cardboard. Oh, Kickstarter exclusive. So I imagine this is going to be a couple of the stretch goals, maybe some of those extra minis that we had in there. I think there were a couple of Rebecca Chamber minis that were like her recruit as in basketball clothing, and then there was one of her like in a cowboy outfit, along with some other minis in there as well. So, and to be honest, if they're anything like the rest of Steam Forge's minis with like epic encounters and so on and so forth, then it's going to be amazing fun to paint. And I think what I'm going to do is do these as like a painting series, because I definitely want to do the characters justice. Okay, matches up. Yeah, so I mean, like, by chance I was wearing my Stars top today that I made years ago out of a polo shirt, so it's got my name on it. But yeah, I've got my Stars thing, and I just had to put the hat on for this as well, because I fucking love Resident Evil. So we have the monster box on there. So I'm going to assume that inside that is going to be our zombies and a few other things. Do let me know, because I'm playing through Epidemic Fluffy, if the music is too loud at any point. We have a terrain box, and this was, again, one of the things I was super excited about from the Kickstarter, because obviously we want to see decent terrain for board games. It's really fun to be immersive, but actually this is useful to me for other tabletop systems like Cyberpunk, Starfinder, hell, even some aspects of D&D could use some of this, so pretty excited to get hold of that one there. And you can see there, that's where the box was knocked about. It's okay, it's only damaged the box. I don't think it's going to hit any of the minis in there, but that's that one. Let's grab this one, because I know what this box is. This is the retro pack. That's the game. Right there, that's the game cover. I remember that Chris just with the shotgun back to the wall. Look at those pixels. That's probably still better than it was as well. Oh, it's so awesome. You can see some of the cards in there for Jill and for the zombie, some first aid sprays. We'll crack into that shortly. But that's the retro pack, which looks like the original classic PS1 game. One of my first ever games. This is how they've sent the dice. It's in a test tube. A little umbrella, blood red test tube. Oh, and there's a sponge to stop it from rattling around. Oh, I like that. So we get it's all D6. It's a D6 system. We've got standard black. Then it seems to have some hit and miss dice and some, what I'm imagining is evasion dice or defense dice there. So we'll have to delve into the rules and properly look at that one. Band of Badgers! How are you doing? What we're doing right now, obviously, is unboxing the main big box, and then I'm going to go through each of the boxes individually. So I'm just kind of getting stuff out at the moment, and then we'll go through it all of what's in the Alpha Pledge and all of the additional add-ons. So this is the game trays. And I like that that comes in a black and white box. So we can put all of our stuff back into all of these boxes in a nice organised manner. Oh, okay, so we've got expansions, the board game and Director's Cut. Right, so we'll start here. This is the Resident Evil Director's Cut Kickstarter Edition Survival Horror Box. So we'll open that one in a minute as well. We have, God, that's heavy. That's about as heavy as Nemesis was. So that is the standard game. And in all fairness, the retro pack as well is pretty heavy. So that's going to be a hell of a lot of stuff in there. I imagine it's a lot of cards. We have the first expansion, which is Into the Darkness. And the last expansion, and I think that's everything in here, is Bleak Outpost. So, let's get rid of this huge box. Yeet! Okay, we're back. We've got this little camera here. What we're going to try and do is if there's any minis down here, hey, how you doing? If there's any minis, we're going to try and show them off on here. So we've got the top down, so you can see what's in the box. I'm so excited. I need to move my mic, and you're all going to listen to it. Right, let's go with... That's the big card. So let's save the expansions. We don't want to do those ones just yet. Let's go with the classic. What most people backed if they were just going in with the regular stuff. So, this is Resident Evil, the board game. See, I don't really need to show you the gaming mats, the character mats, because they came out at the top of the box, but they are neoprene. They're lovely. Really, really nice. Let's move the mic away from, actually, the center of that camera. So, yeah, you've got these lovely little neoprene mats, and they're pretty well coloured. Pretty well coloured. They are not blurred in any way, and they are looking real good. So, that's for all the nice cards to go on. Oh, here we go! This was a birthday present to me nearly 2 years ago, I think it was. From my lovely wife, and... Oh, I've got some stuff, more stuff coming from Steamforge at some point, with like local legends, I think it was, and let's keep going. It's a nice satin finish on that one. Let's just knock the music down ever so slightly. There we go. So, let's... Oh, it's a good feel. Oh! That's a hollow board! Does anybody remember when you first encounter the zombie and you go into that like L-shaped corridor and it like turns around and it's like this really pixelated thing? That's awesome. And it's like chomping down on Kenneth. Well. Oh! And it's got like little bits on the back as well. Oh! That's amazing. Okay, so I probably won't go through... Oh, that's thick. They are some thick rulebooks. Oh, scenarios there. So I probably won't go too far into the rulebooks on these ones. Yeah, Band of Badgers, love it. Stuff like that is amazing. I love it when things come like that. Yeah, it's got the components in there and everything that you need. What's quite nice is it's in colour. So getting to painting up. Mini's all about how to move, all about the actions. Yeah, standard rulebook stuff. I'm not going to dig through too much of that because I want to get to the minis. Right. Scenarios. So, obviously this is a dungeon crawling game. Just kind of like things like Horizon or Imperial Assault from Star Wars. You know, you put down the tiles as you go, basically, and you know this will set it out here. So first floor, West A. I mean, if you played Resident Evil as much as I did, I know where that is. So, goddamn, I'm looking forward to getting into this. And yeah, I believe you take on the persona of a character and then you crack on with it. So that's a scenario book, right? Dungeon tiles. Also, it's thicker than 1 inch, bigger than 1 inch, which is really cool. So with Imperial Assault, I know that it was a 1 inch grid that you put the minis on, but actually these ones seem bigger, which is really cool. Still useful with other things like Starfinder and stuff, but I like that it's a bit bigger. So we'll crack into those shortly, but they seem to be all of the main different rooms for... Actually, no, let's crack into them now. Let's have a look at Spencer Manor. Right. Obviously, they're all punch board, so I'll have to get some way of organising those later on. We'll monster out of there. Oh, the new game smell. Loving it. So, they're double-sided. And they are... Actually, for saying that I'm only on webcams, it's quite glare-free, to be honest. I thought it was going to be really bad under these lights, trying to show that off. But actually, really, really lovely artwork on there. How much did you spend on the Kickstarter? This whole lot of goodies for the monies. I think it was 200. I can actually bring it up now, actually. It was 200 and something. It was either 217 or 279. I'm pretty sure there's a 7 in there. But my wife got it for me. This was my birthday present a couple of Christmases ago. And I was like down on money at the time. And then she was like, would you like that as your birthday present? And I was like, I want the minis, and yeah, just like getting Star Wars minis with Legion and Imperial Assault, I get to paint Resident Evil minis now, and I'm just super stoked. So let's have a look at the projects that we've backed. It's going to be way, way back. God, it's so long ago. It was 217. So that's pretty good, and there is a megaton in here. Okay, so we've got other areas of Spencer Manor, dining room, outside corridors, upstairs we've got the main, upstairs of the main foyer or entranceway, which I'm assuming, going down into the labs. Yeah, and then we have these here, which is all for weapons, tokens, all the other good bits around there that we can put together. And I like these wheel systems for ammo and stuff. You can see on there that the handgun's got like X amount of ammo, so you don't have to turn a dice. You can turn a dial instead. Injury tokens, ABC for objectives, I believe. That's a turn counter. Injury markers as well there. Or is that blood splatter? I'm not sure. I'll have to check that one out. Now, I don't know if any of you remember the game, but that's where you face the tyrant at the very end with a rocket launcher. That's the helipad. And there's the dungeons. Oh, here are some of the minis. We've got more dice! Well, you know I'm going to be making some custom Resident Evil dice for myself. Where do we start? Do you want to see monsters? Zombies? Do you want to see the characters? What do you want first? Oh, the cards are all underneath as well. Ooh. Zombies. Dibs. You know what? I don't think I have enough dice dibs. I don't think I make enough. Okay, you want to see zombies first, Dragon Skull. That's absolutely fine. So let's start with this pose just here. This is actually really well detailed. Let's see if we can get that one on there. Like so. Shut up and eat your pasty. Hey, I had a pasty today. I had a veggie power pasty. So that's the first zombie. And you get, I think it's 5 of those. Standard Spencer Manor garb. Then we have one reaching out, which is this one here. And David, I'm gonna need your expertise in painting these up, because I ain't that great at zombie skin and stuff, you know. Whereas you really do like painting those up, and your ones on the brush off have been fantastic. Yeah, I mean, look at that one. That's grotesque. Look at that arm. He's bloated slightly. His head's all kind of like caved on one side. Let's try and bring that back. They're really clean, you know. Yeah, Dragon School. There's like trying to find the worst of the mold lines, and actually I'm struggling. I think there's 1 or 2 on some of the hands. Actually, yeah, I can see it there. So there's 1 or 2 here where they've got like splayed apart fingers like that. There's a little bit of flashing. But in all fairness, for something so small, that's pretty good. Pretty good! Should we go doggos? Who remembers going to the right-hand corridor and you go through and they just like smash through the window, and when you're... God, how old was I? 96. So I would have been 8, 9, maybe, playing Resident Evil. And these things jump through the window. It was terrifying. And they were quick. Yeah, like... I think I was like going through and I was like, oh cool, there's something underneath that cabinet over there. There's like a little glint of an item, and I went to go push the thing out of the way and it was just like, woo! Oh, gone, out of there. And then they brought out the movie, and then we saw like the Slipknot video, and it had like the dog in it and its head turns around, and it's just like so classic. So we've got dogs. Ah, yeah. Look at this one. Hunter zombies. Big old claws on that one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of zombies. We've got the dogs. Let's have a look at the hunters, because I remember these the first time I encountered these as well. These were like scarier because of how quick they were, and they just like rip your head off in one go. So I wonder if they've got that same kind of ability in the board game. But I think these will paint up like a green slad from D&D, so I think it'll be relatively easy to do. I've got a lot of priming and painting to do if this is only the first box. Okay, so let's go with... this was an addition for the remaster, wasn't it? When you go out into the garden and find this person out underneath the graveyard. All chained up, bag on their head, living in a shack. So send them to you, Dibs. But in all fairness, I've got family down from Nottingham at the moment, so I can send them back up with you, with them. But then I wouldn't be painting them. And I'm pretty excited. So you get 4 hunters. You get the scary baghead lady there, whose name I cannot remember, and I will go shoot myself for that later. And Hog's Pudding. Here is the tyrant. The big bad of Resi 1. With that heart sticking out of his chest. That face that's just like covered over. God, that's so cool. Like, look at, like, on the leg, there is like bubbling striations of meat and flesh. Those veins. Wow! I think Steamforge have, just like with Epic Encounters, knocked it out of the park. Well done, Steamforge. Well done. Let's have a look at the 4 characters in this game. So, hey, Rich, how you doing? No worries, man. There is a spoiler alert. If you've backed this and you don't want to see what's inside it, obviously go away. Give us a follow, and off you go. But it's fine. We've just been looking through the first box, which is the standard board game as it is. And so far, like, we've had a few different things. Like, I really like this. Just this little extra that came on it from that first game, like a little holographic board card that's just... Yeah. So cool. Like that a lot. We've got some game mats so far. One for each of the characters that you can play. And let's have a look at those characters now. So let's start. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, and I've been sat there, like, this arrived at around 2:30 today, and I was like, just gonna take a picture of the box and put it in the studio and wait till the kids are in bed. And it's been killing me. We're gonna go through the characters. Obviously, the original characters that you could. Yeah, Resi was like one of my first games. I'm like, just wearing my Resi stuff today as well, so I'm excited. Chris or Jill? Who did you pick? I'll tell you, I went Jill every time to begin with because she had more item slots. And I thought that was better to have more items when I was so young playing these games, and then realised that, like, she can die pretty quick. But I always went for Jill. And then it wasn't until later that I started like loving Redfield. However, let's... Jill. Yeah. So let's show you Jill, shall we? Oh, here she is. Let's get a decent zoom on that. Well, I mean, strong independent woman. What's not to find hot about that? Even the stars logo on the arm there. The pose, the beret. One of Alpha Team's finest. Hell yeah! That's a stunning mini. Even there's like that shoulder armor and then just like the tack vest. It's got that same like hip lean gun pose that I remember. So let's get out some Redfield, shall we? Ugh. There he is. Knife on his chest. T-shirt wearing. Special Forces Chris Redfield. I mean, that's a good mini for so many games, let alone just being Chris. I'm really looking forward to painting that up. Very awesome. Okay, so the other characters that you get as main player characters. Hey, you know what? Strong independent women, man. They're hot. I'm all about that. So much so that Rebecca Chambers was my favourite character. Because she was a strong independent woman, surely. And it wasn't until Resident Evil 0 that we got to play as her. And we could fill the village with these. I mean, you could. You can pre-order them now at www.steamforgegames.com. Dibs, by the way, man, it's looking really cool, your project. Like, the stuff that you've been posting has been awesome. There she is, medical spray and gun in hand, taking a wander through the Spencer Mansion. Rebecca Chambers. Which leaves character 4. Veronica was pretty fun. Veronica was awesome. But I loved Zero, it was so cool. Mr. Barry Burton. Hey, Jill, don't open that door. But Chris is. Big old. Oh, I thought you, all the bits that you were painting up at the moment, Debs, were part of the project. But okay, I will shut my mouth. There's Barry Burton. Huge magnum in hand. Hey, Chris was my partner, you know. Do you remember how like bad the original voices were? It was the live action game intro that was fantastic, Barry Burton. Yeah, like when they are like running and the like Bravo team's copter went down and stuff, and they're like running into the mansion. They're like, the bit I always remember is just like when you play as Jill, Barry's just there to help you out so much. And I don't think a lava dragon parrot snake would work in a Christmas village. Why not? They've got to celebrate something too, man. Don't leave them out. But yeah, like when Jill goes to open that door and she's like, but Chris is. Oh, loved it. So they're all like little bits that you put the wheels together with, and some extra dice. Because there was a tube of dice. It comes in a red acrylic tube of lovelies. And I'm going to presume that like most dungeon crawlers, we have a standard D6, but then we have what I'm assuming is attack dice and defense dice. So we'll have to get into the rule books and look at that. Tell you what, though, the GameCube remakes were so fucking legendary. Yeah, man, really, really cool. Welcome. I think they were a few in the set of Peeps, me and Rich are looking at. Nice. Yeah, and okay, so that is the top layer of this box. So let's have a look at this one. So this one looks like gaming cards for the standard set. And I like, this is something that we didn't get with the original, like a lot of original board games that I backed on Kickstarter until like recent years, that they started putting in space for the cards once you've got them out and you've got them sleeved. Because we like to keep them clear. So, this one says, all clear, you pause, ears strained for even the slightest sound, nothing beyond your own ragged breathing. So does that mean you're safe for now? So I'm assuming these are event cards, which is, yeah, and this is only the first one. Like, yeah. So that looks like event cards. This one is map cards. So that one looks like probably where things take place. That one says first floor, East CS. Supply run, these are going to be objective cards. And then subject. So these are going to, I think these are enemy cards. And then we have more of the, yeah, map cards in that one. Equipment cards. So we've got helipad on that one. So I'm assuming that this is where doors and rooms are going to be. On those ones, we've got ammo and weapons, because that one's got shotgun shells on it, and this one's got green herbs on it. So I'm assuming that that is going to be healing items and useful things. You're plugging this nicely past you, but how much was it? It was for the entire pledge, and like I've launched the box over there. I yeeted it across the room. I got the alpha pledge and all of the extras, and this was like 2 years ago as a birthday gift from my wife, and it was only $217 for everything, and that's like with all the extras, and I think shipping really wasn't that bad, and it helps being in the UK. But yeah, it was I think $217 for like the amount of boxes that I've got around me right now that we're about to burn through. I was pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna put these ones back in here, and we're gonna move on to the next box. And I'll let you guys pick it. Because I really like getting you guys involved. When me and Richard were having our little one shot the other day. So let's get you guys involved again. Oh, let's put that one back on top. That's too pretty. I wonder if I can put that up in my kids' room. Food for thought. I need the lid. It just goes on lovely. You love it when like the box just goes on smooth and it's like just the right. My daughter would murder you for it. Yeah, I think my 5-year-old would probably be all right, but my 10-year-old would probably not enjoy it so much. So, okay, let's have a look. You have a choice. We can go with the expansion boxes. That is the gold tyrant. I'll show you that one right now. This is one of the expansions, the extras that you get as part of the alpha pledge and that they did for Kickstarter. It's a gold mini. Oh, she'd kill me for it. Oh, right, okay. That's risky. But yeah, this is the gold tyrant with its own little gold foil card behind there, and I couldn't say no to it. Got to get everything right. Got to catch them all. I'm gonna put that over there with those ones. So we've got the 2 expansion packs. We've got the retro pack. We've got the monster box. We've got the Kickstarter exclusives. We've got the Fallen 5. We've also got the terrain box. We've also got the director's cut box. And the game trays. What do you guys want to see? Yeah, it's a lot, Dibs. I have been waiting for this for nearly 2 years. I know we still got director's cut. Director's cut it is! Gonna get some director's cut in there. Oh. Okay. So the box doesn't feel as heavy, so I'm going to assume that this is an expansion. And again, spoiler alert, if anybody's tuning in or watching on YouTube, and you are waiting for your pledge and you don't want to know what's in here, look away! A virtual gaze from the bodacity that is Steamforged Games and Dragonborn Industries. Bit of ASMR for you there. Whoop whoop! Oh, there's more minis. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So, let's grab this one over here. Rich, if you've got a PlayStation, you can get it. You can get Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, and they are remasters, but they're pretty much spot on. To the point where there's a... If you guys remember when you clear the water pits in like the back garden before going down into the labs, it was such bad graphics. It was so pixelated and dark that like you just couldn't see it going. In the remaster, they kept it spot on because it was such an awful video to begin with. They were like, no, we're keeping that awful. So, director's cut, which has got that area. There it is. So, I'm going to presume that this is extra characters. All of the... Yeah, so this is all of Bravo team. So you've got Enrico Marini, who was the captain, Edward Dewey, Forrest Speyer, Kenneth J. Sullivan, who was nommed to death by that first zombie we saw, Richard Aiken, Joseph Frost, Brad Vickers, who is known as Chicken Heart, known as the Coward of Stars, and yet he's in basically this police special forces and is a helicopter pilot. It's actually one of my favourite characters. And Albert Wesker. Look at that spider. Do you guys remember fighting the spider? Big old tiger. Alternate game modes, new gameplay rules with the director's cut, and with 1 over 2 and 3, which is already out. Real survival mode, knife only mode. So we're looking at game mods here, which was awesome. Battle game mode, so you can go just like Imperial Assault. Yes, the hunters are in it. So I think you might have come in just after them. I'll grab one for you in a second from the other box. But they're in the original core set. So just like Imperial Assault, you can go into a battle mode by the by the sounds of it, where I guess you have one PvP. And there are the points for that one there. And there's tension phases. Let me grab you the Hunters Rich so you can see them, because they are... So Lickers were Resident Evil 2. Why would you be in it? So, the Hunters are just here. Just grab that one there. Whoop! And I remember like going through the garden shed when you leave the mansion out the back, and there's just one there, and it's the first one you see if you don't see it in the corridor where you have the first zombie encounter, and it just rips your head off in one fell swoop. That is in the core box. So if you want to pre-order that, and if you watch on YouTube, I'll put a link in the description below to Steam Forged games. Yeah, and I think I'm a big one for the minis, and I know that Steam Forge are really good, because obviously we've done like epic encounters with Band of Badgers, who's here in chat, and just like doing some of those, and like I've got like Cobra the Dragon Turtle and stuff, and they're just amazing sculptors, and I think that like being so far along, they did Resident Evil 1 after 2 and 3 as well, so it's like the minis are just incredible, and being a big fan, just like Star Wars, even if I never get to play this, and I tell you now, we are going to be playing this on this channel here at this table at some point, so don't worry. But even if I never got to play it, I'd be happy painting the minis. I'm going to start with my favourite from this team. This is Brad Vickers, everybody. It's going to be real fun painting yellow on his armour. Come on. I'd like you to focus, please. Let's get a bit closer. Dave, do it. Get in the car. Bring Badger 2 down. It's a 4-player game. Kidnap somebody else. Hey, bring Richard down. We'll do it. That would be me. Although Richard's offered to teach me D&D. Dibs, come down. Bring yourself back down. I love the helmet. I love that his gun is just down by his side. I like that it's a relaxed pose because it's very, very Brad. Let's have a look at the man of the hour. But come down as well, Dibs, and we'll play some D&D here as well. Albert fucking Wesker. Some would say the hero of Resident Evil. Totally not the Umbrella Corps, Hitman, and main antagonist. That's a really cool mini. Even got the shades on. Yeah, massive bell under Resident Evil. He really, really was. Enrico! Who you find down in the dungeons. Enrico, is that you? As Barry will call out to him. Got that 90s curtains going on before Leon got in there. Again, really relaxed pose on him, which I like. Who have we got over here? I think that is Forrest Speyer. Could be. What have we got? Old shotgun friend. I like the heavy armor on this guy and the shotgun shells and that tack vest. Very, very cool. Let's move to the next one. Is that Richard Aiken, maybe? See, this is where I get a little bit lost on Summer Bravo team. Because let's face it, we all know about Alpha. That's Kenneth. Kenneth J. Sullivan. Knife in hand. Radio on the shoulder. That's going to be fun to paint that radio that's up there. Forrest. Missing a sleeve. Showing off the guns. That's a cool pose, that. I like that a lot. And who have we got over here? This one would be... Is that another Wesker? I'm going to have to look up that one, and I feel really bad about it. Unless you guys can name him right now. But it could be. So, those ones are in there. We've also got villain Albert Wesker. It's the same pose, but he's in the red of the villain. So if you don't paint minis, red is the colour of the enemies in this one, and grey is your standard player characters. We've got grenade-covered Forrest lurching towards people. No, so Chicken Heart is Brad Vickers, and I know that because it was the one that I first picked out in the book, and I really like the yellow, but he's got his helmet there for his helicopter. And he's the guy that takes off. So we've got Forrest as a zombie. We've got some more big red hands. A couple of different poses. So we've got that one, and then there's a couple of ones like so. I love the slightly bloated ones. Then, again from the remaster, these fuckers that are like, they crawl across the ceiling on the vents. Almost like the Lictors do. But it's like Spider-Man in that Multiverse of Madness horror zone. Classic Resi Evil baddie with the crows and they're chowing down on a body. Oh, you guys should totally do a Resident Evil type diorama. That would be amazing. So we've got crows. And we've got the smaller spiders. Dave, just for you, buddy. One lovely, hairy, small spider. And some snakes. So that's the top. Oh, we've got some cards. So we have Spawner Crow. So these are enemy cards. They say Spawner Crow on it. And we have what looks like some more item cards and vitality and stuff like that. So, whoop. We've got a blue herb on it. Let's see what's on the second layer. No second layer to this one. That's fine. As an expansion already, I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy. Let's put the lid back on that one. Whew. Shall we open up an expansion, or do you want something else next? Let's go with, because we've got, that's pretty hefty, that retro pack. I don't know if that's just cards to like look more retro. Once the Extra Village is done, we will have to start looking into it, mate. Yeah, you definitely do. You should do it. We've also got the game trays, and then we've got the 2 expansions. So that's up to you guys what you want to go with. Because I know what's in them. So. All of it. Yeah, Fluff, I want to open all of it at the same time too, but I don't have that many hands. So, should we carry on with the expansions? Let's keep to the black box that we've got going on so far. Let's kick our mic over. I'm glad I use a mic like this, because I dibble-dobbed it. Yeah. Let's do Into the Darkness, shall we? Into the Darkness. Try and get that in a good place so I can catch my voice. There we go. So, Resident Evil. I'm going to keep saying that this entire video. Let's throw that over there. Do you know what's in the Into the Darkness box? It's more of the Spencer Mansion. So, this is your expansion guide. I'm not going to go through that just yet. So we get more tiles. And this is the important thing here, because this is going to add different rooms that you don't get in the core box to the Spencer Mansion. So, in particular, Damn the Man 50, lacking hands, have you tried taking an injection of something to fix that? You know Damn the Man 50? No, I haven't. Please suggest something. I would happily take the 2 extra arms to be a Kasatha. Or, hell, I'll take the cute Skittermander 6 arms as well. But the extra rooms that you get in this particular expansion are for these 2 lovely, lovely boss fights. The first one is this. I think this is like the first not zombie boss that you face in the game. And you happen across, and that'll be the other guy. It won't be Enrico, it'll be the guy that I didn't know his name. Snake in the Loft. Where if you start with Jill, you've got the grenade launcher from Forest, and you're just like, dunk, 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 and it's super easy, and you just use the acid rounds and just burn it to hell. But if you start with Chris, if you start with Chris, yeah, it's a hard fight, but Chris has got the vitality. But that mini is huge. I mean, like, that is, I wonder if I've got a D&D mini to hand in terms of base. Because, I mean, that's a pretty good giant snake for D&D or for Pathfinder, for anything else in there. And it's got all these, like, T-virus stuff. I tell you, like, Richard die. Yeah, Richard. Going all the way across there to get the healing spray and the poison stuff, then going all the way back just to kind of like have him like give up on you. Yeah, it was a shame, but we did get Rebecca back, so it's all good. But that is a huge mini, and again, like all of those tiny little bulbous areas. Nice. Well, Dave, have yourself a fantastic night, guys. If you don't already follow Band of Badgers, and I know most of you do here, you can find me there quite a bit, but Dave is the king of networking, and yeah, hopefully we'll be doing some more shows with them again soon. Go give them a follow. Thanks for coming along. Band of Badgers. Let's grab out the other boss mini, because this is... Dave left at the right time. Badgers Gate 3. Ah, okay. See ya. This is the tiger spider. That is such a grotesque mini. And again, this is one of those fights where I was just like, as a kid, I wasn't that big of a fan of spiders, and doing that was just like, oh god! So, this one is obviously going to be the attacks and stuff for these creatures, because you can see there, Yawn. When Yawn attacks, which is the name of the snake, it will always attack character in the center square if possible. Baron, how you doing? Hello. Dave defo leaving at the right time. Good news, I'm here to cover. Happy days, Baron. Great to see you. Also, Damn, if you're Damn the Man, if you're there, we are actually having a giveaway. Not tonight, but on Monday at 8 o'clock, we're giving away a hell of a lot of dice and minis that Warrior Prince 3D have done. So come on, give us a follow. See us on 8 o'clock Monday night, and yeah, Baron, you really did. So yeah, we've got more item cards in there and upgrades for into the darkness. And yeah, that's that one for that one. So this one's quite a small upgrade, but it's still really cool that we get those like loft rooms and we get all those extra bits of Spencer Mansion. Like this way you face that spider was a haunting room to me. Haunting. So I guess we'll open up the other expansion pack. Did you back Resident Evil 2 and 3? I didn't. Back in the days of Resident Evil 2 and 2 and 3, sorry, I didn't really know Kickstarter that well, and my first proper big Kickstarter was Nemesis from Awakened Realms. But I also was sort of like, I'm gonna leave Resident Evil 2 and 3 because 1 was like my jam, and I wished I hadn't, because those games look so good, and like Leon and stuff like that. And if you're after a spoiler that came out with this particular Kickstarter, right here, if you're not after a spoiler, you need to say in the next 10 seconds, because I'm going to flip this over about what's going on. I bought Resident Evil 2 off retail and picked up a few of the expansions later, then backed Resident Evil 3 on Kickstarter. Yeah, I wished I had, because like Nemesis alone and just that kind of like stars would just be, yeah, I will pick them up at some point, and I do like a dungeon crawler. But did you back this one then, Damn the Man? Did you back Resi 1 then? Here we go. This is Bleak Outpost. I skipped Resi 1 because the cost of the value was getting too lean. Yeah, it's I think all in this was 217, but the announcement was Resident Evil 4 coming to Kickstarter soon. So it looks like they are carrying on, and there's a lovely note on the back end of that. At Gen Con, they sold out of the Resident Evil games real quick. Yeah, they're really popular. So Bleak Outpost. Again, we get more points of the Spencer Mansion to have a look around, and oh, and you're all in on Bloodborne. Nice. So we've got, and hopefully, if you guys have played it, you'll recognise this particular room where Plant 42 is. And so this is obviously the T-virus plant that's in the basement, and it's just comes in two parts. That bulb top is actually really quite hefty. That is a brutal looking mini. That's very cool. And again, it's huge. Really big. Yeah, I worked out in that shed that you can run in, take a couple of pot shots, run back out again, run back in again, take a couple of pot shots, run back out again. I think if you do it 3 times and then let it pick you up, Barry comes in with a flamethrower and just torches it. But this fucker. The shark in the damn labs underneath that have been flooded. This thing terrified me. Yeah, I love that. Like that grotesque, rough-looking skin, the splash of the water as it's coming up. And yeah, I loved that one, and like having like those lab sections which just there, and there'll be bits in the middle there, and probably on the back of this garden shed one will probably be the actual laboratory area that you face it. Obviously, again, we get the Bleak Outpost little additional book with different settings and stuff in there. Rules for massive bases, so you can bring them into other areas. Yeah, really cool. So that's what's in the expansion boxes. Yeah, the walkthrough and just the bite, like, and I remember like because I think Resident Evil and Tomb Raider were like my first ever like proper games. Like we played Sonic and stuff like that, but these are like story-based, emotive games, and I fell in love with Resident Evil because it scared the shit out of me. And I fell in love with Tomb Raider because it was like I could explore and be adventurous. But as soon as it came to going in the water with Lara, nope, my sister had to do it. And there's a level on number 2 on Tomb Raider 2 called 40 Fathoms, and you have to like swim away from sharks and stuff. And I remember doing that and just being so scared because you were just like, I think it just gave me that real life, I can't swim faster than a shark. And it was the same with Resident Evil, like trying to run through that water and like, it's just like, you're like, oh God! So, next up on the agenda, I did like what SFG did with the rules campaign. Rules in particular going from 2 to 3. Nice. I haven't seen them, so I guess we'll see what happens here. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see what's in the retro pack? Do you want to see some of the game trays? Do you want to see some of the terrain boxes or some of the Kickstarter exclusives? I'm happy to go whichever way you guys so desire. As long as you let me know. White box. So game trays. Game trays are up. Thank you, Dibs. Straight in there. So, I can tell you now, this is basically a set of trays that you can then have all of your minis and everything in and all the cards set out. Really nice and lovely, I believe. So that you can just open the box and off you go. I also really liked it. It's just a white and black box. I think it's... well, our entire brand is black and white. That's the purpose of Dragonborn Industries logo, is to be in that. And I like the monochromatic. Whichever way we desire. Can you unbox one while standing on your head? I could. But you'll have to catch me on OnlyFans for that. You got to pay me to do that. So, these are the kind of game trays that you have, and they obviously like fit in and around everything else into the other boxes. You've got like individual slots for characters and for monsters and for all of the other bits that you have. Also, that you can just have out there at the table. Also got these extra ones just here. So, let's grab those ones. So, we've got things like game trays for Resident Evil, which is maybe just there. And again, you can see that like they've thought about the placement of each. I'll sleeve them. Oh yeah, I'll sleeve them. It's just worth it. I think I did it with Nemesis. And Nemesis, the actual backer pledge, you got all of those card sleeves as part of it, and it was just amazing. So yeah, I absolutely will, just to keep them protected. Because let's face it, we like snacks at the table and those greasy fingers. Yeah. So I also like that it's embossed. At least in Res 3, the game trays didn't handle sleeve cards. Had to figure out an alt solution. Yeah, and Nemesis was the same. It wasn't as great until they brought out the next one. But it seems like, I'm pretty sure Steamforge would have like learnt from that and people would have said something. So yeah, and again, all of those token trays right there. So, game trays are done! Done! We're done with the game trays. I'll throw that one over there. Oh, here we go. We're getting down to the last few boxes. You know what? I'm going to do the minis last. I'm taking control of the stream. We're going to do the retro pack. This is what my video game looks like. It feels like a lot of cards. I imagine it's going to be alt cards for the game. I actually can't remember. The Kickstarter was so long ago. But it's the retro box. And I had to go all in. I had to get everything. Oh, Chris. Resident Evil. There is a massive pile of plastic next to me where I've just been throwing all the rubbish. Yes, so we have the retro style cards, which are basically like game screen grabs. So things like the shotgun there is like the same as it was in the graphics of the game. So I'm going to assume that all of those are going to be the same in those pixelated. Oh, I remember going through those doors and trying to get those keys. Same with all of those cards there. Yeah, so these are all the cards you get in the core box, but they are going to be done in the gaming style of... Does it come with OG voice lines? We were speaking about this at the start. I freaking loved how bad those voices were, because it was just like... And again, the favourite one, the classic when Jill goes to open the door, it's like... Hey Jill, don't open that door. But Chris is! Where's Barry? Yeah, we are looking at the classic style. Ooh, let's go that way around. Which is really cool. Little classic blue and white umbrella logo on there. Even that, they've got it right down to like the horrible, like you can't read the writing pixelation. That's a nice little touch, Steamforged. A lovely, lovely little touch. Lisa Trevor, that was the name of the mini earlier. And yeah, we've got all of those monsters on there, things like that Tyrant there. And like, I remember that being like, in my head, the graphics were so much better, but I still remember that pulsating yellow heart being like, and it just being horrifying to try and like just hit that with a system that was just, yeah. So hopefully it's easier to hit it in the game, but I guess we'll find out. I know there's not a layer underneath that one because those trays were deep, real deep. So let's grab out the next box. We're on minis, guys. We are down to what's left from the Kickstarter. Huge box that they sent out. So, you've got a choice. We've got the terrain box, which is obviously all the different terrain bits that we have. We've got the Kickstarter exclusives. We've got the Fallen 5, which was like a social goal that they did. So as we unlocked things as backers, we selected characters that we wanted to make it through into different bits, and then the Fallen 5 basically ended up as like, I think, undead minis in there. And then we've also got the monster box as well, which has got additional monsters in there. So, anything in particular you guys want to see first? If not, I am just going to straight up go for it and pick one. So, let's go with, if I don't say anything in chat, exclusives last. I agree, Dragon Skull. Exclusive last. By the way, your Cody looked amazing when that came up today. A lot easier to paint than the Phase 1s, right? So, let's do the Fallen 5. Let's do that, and then we'll go through some monsters and terrain, and then we'll do the Kickstarter exclusives. Last! Yeah, so I had the same trouble, and I didn't realise, and I think you were watching the stream when I was like, why isn't the paint sticking? Yeah, I don't know what Fantasy Flight did to those minis, but Atomic Mass seemed to have sorted it out. So, here it is. So this is the Fallen 5. So we've got, these are like advanced characters for the Fallen 5, which is like characters you can play. I think they are going to be the same ones from possibly the... Oh, it's alt pledges for them. So we've got Advanced Edward Dewey, which is going to be this guy just here. So we have another... No worries, Debs. Thank you for coming along as always, and we'll hopefully see you again on one of the streams. So this is the Edward Mini. Come on. I'd really like you to focus. There we go. Again, we've got some lovely detail. All of these minis have been superb so far. I haven't had a single bit of flashing or a bit of anything to complain about, and I love it. So, Brad Vickers, his alternate pose should be this guy just here. I thought the Fallen 5 were the undead ones, but they were the ones that we lost that didn't go into the Director's Cut expansion. The extra advanced characters, that's what it was. They like get extra things for them as you go along. We've got another advanced Albert Wesker. Separate pose. I love the back of those cards as well. Really, really cool. We've got Edward, Brad, Richard. It was Richard. Richard Aiken. There he is. So I think if you manage to get hold of the director's cut one, you will get all of those other advanced characters, but not these guys. So I think you have to get the Fallen 5 separately. And I'm not sure if it's going to be around for the public. I'm not too sure. But there is Enrico. Another Enrico mini, which is awesome. Very much looking forward to getting a lot of these painted because it's just going to be fun. So, that's the Fallen 5. We'll go into the monster box next. That's got a good noise. Good noise. So, I like these boxes as well, that kind of like parchment. So these are additional monsters. We've got the hunters in the classic pose. Just there. Which we saw in the other box, in the original core box. But we've also got those like sweeping running poses there. So there are some alt poses in here. Horrible beasts. Then we have more dogs and a hell of a load more zombies in there. I mean, that is a hella load in there. And then you get all of those extra dogs and those like red hands as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun! Got a drop, but damn, if you haven't made me want to download Resi. Love it, mate. Thanks for sharing. Rich, thank you so much for coming along. As always, everybody, you should go give Warrior Prince a follow on Instagram, at Warrior Prince 3D. Him and I do a show on a Thursday at 12 o'clock every week where we are trying to paint up the entirety of the Monster Manual, monster by monster. And Richard has been 3D printing loads. He's 3D printed a huge dragon for our giveaway, which is on Monday at 8 o'clock, along with just being an awesome dude. Richard, have a fantastic night. I'm going to sit here and enjoy opening up some more minis, because we are in the terrain box. So, obviously, like, you don't need to use a terrain box. You can completely use the tokens that you... shucks, thanks, mate. Good night. You can use the tokens that come in the regular core set and stuff like that. But what you get... Let's get some of these out. And I do like terrain for a board game. Things like doors. And we all know Resident Evil likes doors. That's some of the exterior ones right there. Let's see if we've got... There we go. Here's a classic... Spencer Mansion door. And they open. You can have open or closed doors in your game. Ah, very cool. You get quite a few of those, and let's face it, there's a ton of doors in Resident Evil, especially in the Spencer Mansion. It is scarily cute, right? I agree, Dibs. Oh, Fluffy, sorry. I am so sorry. So, this is another cool one. I really like these. These are one of the other things that I really want to back it for. They are like walkways for the labs and for the shark fight, which are very, very cool. And they've all got that, like, really well detailed metal grid on them. Whoop, there it is. And you get quite a few of those. And some of them have steps. Little concrete steps and stuff for outside. You get banisters and balconies and steps for the mansion. I like those. Put those in there for now, which is nice and loud. We've got, in this one here, some little tiny tokens, but we've got a little item storage chest. Classic typewriter. And ink ribbons for saving your game. So those of you who've played Resident Evil 2 and 3, you'll have to tell me if saving your game is an actual thing still within the board game, or if it matters. We've got more doors. These ones. We've got some lab doors. They're open. They're hinged. An unhinged guy showing you a hinged thing. More Spencer Mansion doors there. I freaking love it! But we're almost on the last box, guys. We're almost there. I want to say thank you to the new followers as well over the past 24 hours. I can see that we've had quite a few, which has been really nice. And I've just not been live to say thank you yet. So, we've got... Oh, empty door frames. So that must be way all over my table. I will have to check out what these get used for in the game, but we have empty door frames. Whole bag of them. And we also have some more bits and bobs. So we have those banisters for all of the areas in the mansion. We've also got some lab walls and stuff there. And the last one in the terrain box. The last baggie of these. And let's face it, who doesn't love dead zombie tokens? Dead character tokens. Look at that mangled corpse. That's brutal. Again, that's going to be fantastic in so many different systems that I use. As well as this Resident Evil. Yeah, I think you're going to have to teach me some as well, Dragon Skull, on how to like paint undead. Because it's one of those areas that I sort of dip in, but I don't dip in that much because I'm not that confident in. Yours and Dave's are always fantastic. So we'll have to do some streams where you teach me how to paint undead, especially like zombies, tones and stuff like that a lot better. But that's the terrain box. This is it. The Kickstarter exclusives. There is a huge pile down here of boxes and minis. And I'm so happy. I love Kickstarter fulfillment days. So let's have a look at the exclusives. Punch my mic at the same time. Here we go. Right. I didn't think it would take me so long to get through all of this, to be honest. So many minis to paint. So, these are like a lot of alternative sculpts again, and I think everybody unlocked everything that was possible on the Kickstarter. So I guess I just start at one side and move our way across. So we've got an alt clothing character here who I think that's Chris in a biker jacket. I'll actually have to go and check out the Kickstarter again because it's been so long and actually see which ones were which. But they're not in cop clothes, so I guess we'll have to find out. We've got another plain clothes person, but holding a badge and pointing a gun. I'll have to check out who that is and what that actually is from the Kickstarter exclusives. But again, a very cool mini that can be used for many different things. We've got Forrest Speyer. No, Joseph Frost. That's who died first. Joseph Frost. And there he is. We've got Flamethrower, Barry Burton. That's Forrest with the grenade launcher. Oh, we've got Kenneth the alt pose for him there. Let's move down this side. So, one of the Kickstarter exclusive was Recruit Rebecca. And let's face it, they've done her in a very particular style. Which is scantily clad. We've also got Rebecca with a shotgun. Very Resident Evil 0. Oh, we've got Rebecca with a flare gun. I think that's Cowboy Rebecca, actually. One of the other fun little extras they did. We've got Jill in knife combat mode. Very Sarah Connor from Terminator. We've got the alternate Chris pose. Very, very cool. And moving on through the middle grounds. Jill holding her hat. Again, just a different pose from what they had before. We have another, pretty sure that's Jill again. We've got plainclothes Jill, which is just like the Res 3 one, or when you get the alt clothes at the end of the game. Jill running with shotgun. There it is. And last but not least, the last mini is thrown across my table. It's Chris with shotgun. So, I mean, all in all, it's a fair amount of stuff for the price that we paid for it. And I'm pretty pleased with everything that we got. I mean, as I think Dragon School said earlier in the stream that the... Floppy, you're quite right. You have like a gameplay set. You can have alternate sculpt sets that you can play the game with, or you just have a shelf set for like mini painters like me and Craig and Bandit Badgers and everybody else who's in the channel that paints minis just for the hell of it. Obviously, we've got like the Golden Tyrant there as well, which is just nice to get hold of because it's just a fun looking mini. But I mean, all in all, it is one hell of a lot of stuff. And I think the entire Kickstarter was $217, and I mean, that's a hell of a Kickstarter, Dragon School. You are completely correct. It's it was a big box it came in, and I'm super stoked. I'm very much looking forward to the next one from Steamforged, which is coming out to us whenever it's finished, which is the Local Legends, the D&D 5e supplement one. But yeah, that is everything that came in the box. That's all we're here for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone who came in to have a look at what we were up to, what we've got with the Kickstarter. We'll do some streams of painting these. We will hopefully be getting some games in at some point, and this is one of the games that we want to stream. So, yeah, it's going to be a whole of a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to line up a raid in a second, but I hope you all have a fantastic week. Hell of a fantastic weekend. It's Saturday, isn't it? And may the dice gods be ever in your favor. Take it easy, guys.